Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream scene. I am, my voice somehow has gotten worse over the weekend, so not going to get a lot of me today because my voice is squeaky. But we have an awesome episode for you guys today. We're going to be talking about Mixer, talking a little bit more about the platform. There's been a ton of recent changes and shakeups in the streaming industry, and we honestly would love to talk more about Mixer. So we're going to do that during this episode. I'm joined here by my lovely co-host, the Hunter Wild. How you doing, Hunter?
Hi, Loco. I am fantastic today. And much a big surprise to everybody. Incredibly excited for today's show. So I know very little about Mixer proper. I will be taking notes like a madman. Hope a lot of y'all out there are doing the same because we are joined by two fantastic, incredibly well informed, for reasons that will become obvious when they introduce themselves, human beings, friends of mine, fortunately. Feel particularly blessed to have them in my life. Lovely human beings. Rocketbear, live, and Backdraft, live. How are you doing
Both live
today?
Thank you for throwing that live. That's very kind.
If y'all want to introduce yourselves, who you are, what you're doing here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys for being here. It's totally great, and thank you for having us. It's exciting to talk about whatever we want to talk about, including Mixer. But glad to be here. I'm Rocketbear. You can find me at mixer.com/Rocketbear. Basically, first up, I am an employee of Mixer, so it's my livelihood and my passion. Part of what I do there is on the social side of things, but I'm also a partnered broadcaster there and have been going on 4+ years now, broadcasting over there for 5-ish years. Before it was Mixer as Beam, and then before that, even here on Twitch. That's kind of a little short snippet about me right there.
That's a history.
Well, you know,
awesome.
it's a good one, and it's been a fun one. It's been an exciting one to see how the platform has grown and changed and become something different from little old Beam to Mixer now. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, hello. First off, I would like to say thank you, the Hunter Wild TV and Loco 2525, for bringing me onto the show. I really appreciate it.
First and last time you'll be on the show.
I deserve that.
First and last time. First off, I've been on the show before, Loco.
Second and last time.
My name is Backdraft. Hello. I'm also a partnered Mixer streamer. I've actually been partnered with Mixer 2 years in 5 days.
Nice, congratulations.
Nice.
In 5 days.
Cool.
And yeah, I was there when it was Beam as well. It was a cool time. It's totally changed. I love it. I like to consider myself somewhat informed about the ins and outs of what's going on at Mixer. I pay attention to some things. Before that, I did no streaming. I started pretty much fresh on Beam. I streamed on Twitch for literally like a week. And then some friends of mine that actually worked at Xbox were like, hey, Beam. And I was like, cool. I have no reason not to. And here we are.
I think it's interesting that you both mentioned Beam because that's a great place to start. I think a lot of people hadn't heard of the platform until it was acquired by Microsoft a couple of years ago. Like that was a big move. Microsoft is obviously a powerhouse in plenty of industries, including gaming, and they wanted to get into streaming, acquired Beam, renamed it to Mixer, and I think you're now seeing like a new wave of people discovering Mixer for the first time too, with what happened last month, which obviously we'll get into.
Yeah, got a bit to talk about on that one.
Right. So I guess starting with Beam versus Mixer, how has Microsoft's acquisition changed the platform?
Yeah, what's that progress been like as well as a follow-up to that?
Right.
I think it's all been positive. Just from my point of view, starting as a partner, I have seen the community grow. I've seen the broadcasters grow, the amount of people who have been broadcasting and who have decided to start broadcasting, to just being viewers. All of those things have continued to grow over time. I believe that Microsoft jumping in there and grabbing up something cool like Beam was only positive across the board. There were a lot of folks who were worried about it, to be honest, because they didn't know which way it was going to go. Were they just going to buy it out and do nothing with it? Or,
yeah,
nobody's
always going to be a lot of question marks for that.
Yeah, but it's all been wholly positive for me as a partner. Beforehand, before it was Mixer, I wasn't worried because I felt at that time that they had our best interest in mind. And as time has gone on, it's pretty obvious, at least to me, that that is in fact the case, and that people have benefited across the board in many ways.
For sure. I think it's
Hey,
very interesting because it kind of similar to when Amazon acquired Twitch and there was a lot of like nervousness, like, oh, it's
Oh
going to
yeah.
change a lot. And I think when you look at Mixer, they are, trying to wedge themselves into a space that is dominated by Twitch right now. And with Microsoft's acquisition, like, I think it was like a good thing because they kind of needed that powerhouse company to kind of like boost them and really like I think that Microsoft can give Mixer the resources to grow and obviously what is their goal? Their goal is to grow the platform. How are they going to do that? They're going to develop tools that ultimately benefit the streamers, make it easier to
Yeah.
make it be your job, make it easier to grow, make it easier to be discovered. So I think you're just starting to see the results of Microsoft's investment in Mixer. With a slew of new tools and notable streamer acquisitions in the space too.
I think one of the really good things that ties into that as well is the ability to take risks when you have that kind of power behind you, and that's always going to be one of the concerns when there's an acquisition. Same thing as Loco was saying with Twitch is, are they going to dominate and does it become top down, or are they going to facilitate creativity and risk taking? And it sounds like, from my perspective, ill-informed, is that it was let's bump up the creativity. Let's see what's possible. Let's give you the resources. Let's go. Let's take some risks. Let's make it happen.
and
Sure.
you're 100% right on that. I mean, it going into Beam and turning it into Mixer was a huge gamble. And you ask any Mixer partner, we knew that the future was going to look bright when it turned into Mixer itself, and we knew that everything was going to go into a different direction. And a lot of people, they say, oh, Mixer is on the map now, or they're starting to make their strides now as a platform. But the biggest thing where I think we started to stand out in a small sense was actually PAX South 2018 was actually when I felt like Mixer made a presence, and we actually had a ton of people outside of our partner lounge going, what? I mean, a lot of people just like, what is this?
Yeah.
And you had a lot of people tune in after that, and I noticed a huge flux of people after PAX South, and then PAX East was even bigger. But and if you guys can answer this, do you know why that happened? Like Loco and Hunter.
Why? What exactly?
Why we surged after those PAXs.
Is it because Twitch stopped?
Yeah. Twitch's presence diminished heavily at PAX South 2018. Twitch was not there.
Yep.
And that allowed Mixer to run free.
Yep. That's interesting.
And that was a huge moment for us. And I mean, I appreciate that. Like that's good. But you guys also have TwitchCon, so that's a big plus.
That's true.
Right. But I mean, like,
one day-
TwitchCon caters to people that already know Twitch, right? Like, we're attending a PAX, you're catering to a more general gaming population.
It's a mixed bag. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm glad that Mixer has stuck in with the PAXs, and I was disappointed to see Twitch pull out of PAX and other cons, because I feel like it is the opportunity for Twitch to continue to create brand awareness, and with Mixer doing that, like exactly what you said, like Mixer's going to get a huge boost from Twitch backing out. So
Yep.
how has your guys' experience on the platform changed over time? Like, both of you have been on this platform for years at this point, and I know we have a lot of people watching that are either new to Mixer or they are streaming on Twitch and kind of eyeing Mixer, and they're kind of, maybe people are choosing between platforms. How have you guys, how's your guys' experience over time changed with Mixer?
It's been a growing experience for me to see it change, but I would say the core experience has maintained, to be honest with you. Community was always first and foremost when it comes to when you talk about folks who have been on Beam, then moved into Mixer. And we've seen that community grow, of course, but the core values of what we want, I guess, as a streamer personally, have also been at the forefront. New measures put in place, things put there for both safety and efficiency. Awesome new tech that's being experimented on here that you just don't see anywhere else. A lot of things have changed and grown with time, but those things have continued to improve upon the experience of both the viewer and the broadcaster. I would say it's been a very positive journey, and it's been an exciting one too, because innovating the creative space is one of my favorite things, and it's cool to see people trying out new things when they're given tools and ability to create their own environment when they want to share their own content.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And that's something I've seen as well, is because when you started to see Mixer come in, you had a lot of people who were trying to do different things. And we actually have a wonderful gentleman on our platform, and his thing that he does, he brews beer. And that's what he does. And that is his staple. And Mixer empowered those creators, and I feel like that is one of the biggest things that Mixer has done to really take care of their partners, is the amount of empowerment that they've given them. And don't read that as I'm not saying that Twitch does not empower their partners, just to clarify.
Sure.
But the big change from Beam to Mixer is then this actually allowed our staff and our partner managers to entirely step in and say, okay, what can I do to make it to where you can succeed? And it was a huge turning point. And a lot of that did come from, Microsoft money, because that helped elevate them to give them the ability to do it.
Right.
But I noticed it in all of our communities now. And the one thing that you're seeing on Mixer with a lot as the time has gone on, is you're seeing people huddle into them communities, and you're seeing a lot of people stay at home, and they're staying, right with that streamer. And it's starting to turn into a lot of like what you're seeing at Twitch, where you can name your community members, boom, 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 there every stream. You're starting to see that now. And that's a huge thing. And I think that's come from the change and them growing the platform and really making sure that their partners are given the ability to actually succeed. And I firmly believe that they have done a very good job at doing that. And that's why you're starting to see a lot more Mixer people take that full-time jump.
Yeah, that's fair. And so, so both of y'all were talking about this, and Rocketbear a little more directly, the sort of the thing that I always latch on to, which I think is always just a sort of an obvious in business in general, but somehow gets missed fairly often when it comes to a lot of the more interesting front runners that sort of pick up speed really quickly, which is the consistency and maintenance of vision and mission. And you were talking about how from the very beginning, it was a thing and it maintains that identity and that direction and that impetus. I'm curious, so both of y'all talked about some ways in which that's sort of stayed to the front. What are there some like really like some additional like clear ways in which that has been maintained, and ways that keeps sort of coming forward, like that emphasis on community and community identity, and likewise with some interesting tools that maybe exist possibly uniquely on Mixer that sort of facilitate some of that?
Sure. So obviously, as we talked about, the creative space, innovative type of things, I think beyond that and beyond the obvious, you can see what's happening on the channel. Trust and safety are some huge elements for streamers and viewership. One of the coolest things for me is knowing that I don't have to worry about chargebacks utilizing the Ember system as a partnered broadcaster. If I receive a donation through that Ember system, it is going through Microsoft authenticated servers. There is no chance of a chargeback, and I am guaranteed to get exactly the amount that the person has spent there. And that person is guaranteed to spend the exact amount they wanted to send to me. There's no cut coming off of the actual buyout of that specific Ember. It's safety, man. And it's such a secure way to, one, do business if you're a content creator, but two, to be able to be secure as a content creator and feel like you are doing something that means something, if that makes sense. If I can encourage my viewership to, I guess, take a look at the tools that they are given. 9 times out of 10, they find it to be very satisfying in terms of usage and exciting in terms of what they get for having done that thing. You can gain the Sparks currency simply by watching, and then you can boost Ember payouts just by donating to your favorite broadcasters. That doesn't cost you a dime, and it's a great way to support. Those are one of the things that have stuck around for a while. For the longest time, Sparks didn't do much except you gained them and they acted as a channel currency, but there wasn't really too much to do with them. Well, now they act as a direct percentage bonus to your payout, which is pretty cool. Another way they've innovated on an existing feature that is carried on over into current Mixer. There's so much to talk about there. I think the key for me, the thing that excites me the most is knowing that the trust and safety issues are at the forefront of what's happening in that specific streaming space. Being able to rely on your platform to enforce important things and to stand by those things, it's hugely empowering for me as a content creator.
Yeah. One of the interesting things that Mixer has announced recently is a streamer review system. I think it was July, they released a blog post basically detailing their steps towards safety on the platform and moderation. And, this has been a point of contention on Twitch because of things getting through the cracks. So do you guys want to talk to me a little bit about the streamer review system and what that's all about? Because that's something very different. That, like, Twitch does not do anything like that.
Backdraft, why don't you jump on that one first, and then I'll come in at the end of it and add a little bit more.
I was actually going to ask you to jump on that a little bit harder than I was because
sure. I don't mind.
To be front about that one, actually, the thing with the streamer review is that your partners were actually above it because we've already been verified.
Mm-hmm.
They know, like, okay, this is a partner. They represent our platform. So to be quite fair, I was ignorant in the subject because when I read there that it was like, if you're good, I was like, all right, cool. This is really awesome. Whoop. So Rocket, take it away, my friend.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't want to do all the talking. I mean, I just wanted you to be able to dive in, but I don't mind.
Okay.
Streamer review is huge. It's a big deal. It's really cool. And like you said, it's kind of innovative. It's, again, forward and foremost about the trust and safety here for both broadcasters and people watching. So say I'm a parent and I want to make sure that my kid's watching what, something they should be watching on a specific channel. Streamer review is both enabling me to be satisfied in knowing that they're going to be getting exactly that, and knowing that the people who are watching carefully, allowing this stuff to come through, know that this person is okay to be streaming there. More specifically, it is, I'm going to pull right from the blog here because I think it sums it up pretty well. The goal is to improve validation and monitoring of new streamers on Mixer. Quite simply, streamers need to log in with their Microsoft authenticated account, which means it has gone through the checks and balances prior to you going live. So they're checking out everything ahead of time, giving them a good heads up on who's actually applying to stream, enabling an additional screening of the new streaming account that wants to send a broadcast to Mixer, which is pretty cool. There's also a 24-hour waiting period before a streamer can start their first camera-capable stream, and that's part of the review process. So what it means for you is there's a few steps you have to take. You go into your dashboard, you apply, you get everything sorted there. There's a trust and safety guidelines you need to walk through. It's all very cool, and it's all put there specifically to ensure the safety of the broadcasters and the viewership. It's a big deal for me. Again, as a partner, and as Backdraft stated, you could opt into that early and you don't have to worry about the 24 hours, which we're past that point now, but they offer that up to partners so that they would not need to have that downtime. And 24 hours of downtime is a whole lot as a broadcaster who is trying to make a life out of it, or someone who's even just there to enjoy themselves and relax. They are, put aside for 24 hours, which means they can't create the content they want to create. The good news for partners at that point was you could opt in and you're good. For people who are not verified at that point as partners, they needed to opt in, do the walkthrough, and then get set and get ready to broadcast. And I mean, unless there was a reason for them to flag you as not being able to stream, you're solid, you're good. And to me, again, it's empowering to know that the people on the platform are ones who have passed that specific review, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it seems really interesting. To me, it definitely seems like a way to combat the troll streaming that has been and continue to plague Twitch with,
Yeah.
streaming illicit content. Basically,
Right.
it's almost an automated system the way that that content has been streamed. It's just bot accounts and they just make a new account. It's been almost impossible for Twitch to get a hold of. So this seems like a way to kind of counteract that, where it's not perfect, but it seems like a really solid deterrent for anyone that's like wanting to just, create a bunch of accounts and then, start streaming. Like, you need a Microsoft account. Like, that's a pretty extensive process.
Yes, there's a couple of things that you have to do beforehand, even when you're getting your Microsoft account. It enables the people on the team who is looking at this to get an early look at what's coming through the door, allow them to screen for anything they need to. It's just a great way to add a level of impedance to any of that trolley feedback you may be getting. And if you get a chance, I'm going to plug a show here on Mixer, but I think it's worth it because we're talking about streamer review and the trust and safety guidelines. Check out the VODs from the Channel 1 show, Level Upcast. It's pretty amazing and, in my opinion, very worth your time. Coop goes into detail about what streamer review means for you as a broadcaster, for you as a viewership. Both Stein and Andy were in that last episode, and she was there before as well. I'd encourage you to go watch it and educate yourself even further. Definitely read the blog because it's important. But if you get a chance, check it out. If you have more questions, likely it's answered there. But the most important thing to take away from that is that it's a process that's going to ensure at least extra levels of safety for everyone on the site, no matter what you're doing, if you're viewing or if you're broadcasting.
Now, do you think that this has created a process that's too complicated or extensive for people that are just interested in, just like starting the stream and going or trying Mixer for the first time or switching from Twitch, or even like a younger crowd, which, I think Twitch Mixer has had success in with the growth of their Fortnite category.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
While it is definitely, if you don't mind me, Rocket, I can take this one. I got
You
this.
sure?
I got this one.
Okay,
So,
go.
My biggest thing with that, yes, it is definitely an extensive process. Yes, it is going to take a minute, and it's going to take a hot minute to get into the game. But this is ultimately what is safest for the community, in my opinion, because it allows us to stop someone from being like, okay, well, I want to be an inappropriate streamer, and I just want to come in and I just want to boop. And that also goes to our cat team as well, because our enforcement team works very hard. And their reports are taken very seriously. And when I tell you as a partner, I get a response from our cat team. I'm totally plugging our cat team here for a minute. When I send something to them, minutes, it's back to me. I'm getting a response. I'm getting the help I need.
That's pretty comforting.
Yes.
So the cat team is basically like the global moderators of the platform, essentially.
It's Mixer's. It's their whole Mixer enforcement team. Like, Mixer has their own enforcement. So the global moderators aren't really. That's kind of isolated. What would you say to like the hosting services? Rocket is kind of where you see those guys rolling.
It's dependent on the channel. So in this case, the community action team, they function on multiple levels, and I am not on that team, so I don't want to speak to exactly what they do. What I can say is that they are going over and above and beyond. They are amazing workers who are trying to make this the safest streaming space that there is.
Okay.
Those words.
So yeah, I think you do make a good point. Like, ultimately, it is good for the platform, and I think this also ties into something else that Mixer has mentioned with their blog post. They basically stated, I'll just quote them, if I can find it. There we go. We are adding the ability for all streamers to participate in monetization on Mixer. So they're planning on making it basically from the get-go, any streamer can have the same monetization tools as, you don't have to like basically get to what is known as like a Twitch affiliate on Twitch. So it's like it's a more open version of Twitch affiliate is what it sounds like to me.
with being so used to how Twitch functions, when I heard that, I was just like, I couldn't close my mouth. I was just so surprised. Like, wow, wait, really? That's a real thing that they're doing? That was so interesting.
Kind of cool. I'm excited to see how it plays out, how it pans out. I think everybody wins. I don't feel like there's anybody here in this situation that loses out. People have an opportunity to create content, to make a stab at trying to make a life out of it, maybe. I don't know. I'm very excited to see how folks are going to treat this going forward, both as new broadcasters, as established broadcasters, as partner broadcasters, as not. It's going to be interesting to see the dynamic either shift or sway or change or something, but I'm thrilled to see what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely on the same boat as that. It's like, sure, you will have people make the argument just like what you saw with Twitch affiliate, where it was like, oh my God, you're taking this away from the partners. What's the point of being a partner? But it's like, you still have to earn that title, and there's still a lot that comes from being a partner on the platform. But at the same time, it allows you to essentially come onto something and become a community member, but then also take it to the next level and build your own community. Because one of the biggest things you see is a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, I can't get over this hurdle of getting into it. Because think about when you all started to stream for the first time and you were making your upgrades and you were trying to buy that new mic, buy that new camera, buy that green screen. That little bit of kickback that comes from being able to pull that monetization, that'll allow you to kind of elevate your stream to the next level and hit the next goal. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me.
I think the sense of opportunity is huge, right? Like there is a practical difference between what you actually get and, you know, that sense of opportunity. But I find that to be like a fantastic motivator, more than what I've heard over and over again is this continued sense of disappointment and disenchantment that a lot of people had when they can't hit a certain target because the bar is, it doesn't even matter if the bar is high or low, it's higher than they see themselves being able to reach within some often arbitrary time frame. It doesn't really matter. Like, that's just how we work. We want a thing, we see that it's over there, and whether or not we can hit it is another thing. Having that opportunity, that sense of like, yeah, I really can achieve this thing. That is before me. It is right here. I find that to be like a great motivator at the especially at the entry point. And that's the biggest hurdle for a lot of people is once you get that start, you know, we hear it all the time. It's, you know, and there's a common joke about it. It's like, oh, you've only been streaming for a week and you already want to quit because like the things aren't lining up. But I feel like if you have that sitting in the back of your head or at the forefront, that exact sense of opportunity, you're like, let's go a little bit further. Let me see what's happening, because I'm getting a trickle effect here, or maybe, you know, you've had some big windfall or something, but that all exists at a more level and even pace. I think that's very healthy.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, sorry to interrupt, but imagine being a broadcaster and he's seeing this entire open field of monetization before you, where you don't have any impedance in getting started. You can just dive right in and start like making your go at it. That's kind of huge if you think about it. You don't have any hurdles to jump through beyond the streamer review, of course, and that's a trust and safety thing. So it's going to ensure that your content fits on the platform. And then after that, I mean, go for it, make a living out of it. If you can, do your best, have fun, but you don't have to worry about being held back by an arbitrary review that doesn't necessarily mean much for you as a content creator at that time. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's not something you're interested in, or maybe it's something to aspire to. But Embers for Everyone means that you can get started right away and not feel like you're missing out on that specific element.
Yeah.
Sure. And I think
like you're locked out of it.
I think this helps counteract to the point where we were talking about the streamer review system and it being too extensive. Like now you're incentivized to take that time to sign up because you will have access to these financial tools, right? So I think it helps to ensure people that are signing up are serious about streaming, and I think they're probably enticed to stream because of those tools available to them.
Exactly.
Agreed. It's again just a neat way to begin your streaming journey, having all these tools available to you right there in the website, and then of course the ability to customize that further using interactive elements, the FTL, being able to communicate like we're talking right here. Just a lot of neat tools that you are equipped with to, one, succeed, and two, to have the best time that you can. If it's not fun, if it's not accessible, then it's probably not happening for most people. And like you said, they're don't like it for a couple days, or maybe they don't see the numbers right away. And we know as broadcasters, you're not going to see those numbers right away. It's as in terms of consistency, I should say. Sometimes you will, but consistent, good viewership. And imagine most of that being sidelined for, here you go, here's your tools, make the most out of it and go for it. That's a big deal. And I agree, Loco. I think that pulls the drawbacks of the 24-hour waiting period back. Like, it's going to give you the bypass that you need, I guess.
I think it also helps to justify them, right? Not that you needed further justification, but it's like, well, I mean, like, here's all this like really fantastic stuff on the other side of it. And then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, I can deal with it. I can deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, if that's probably just another reason why they implemented this system, because
absolutely.
Not only does it help protect, the community more, but also B, it will probably give you access to those tools early on rather than, a whole other process outside of that. So
that's very true. The more loops
purpose.
you make somebody jump through, that's tough. That's tough.
So
how do you streamline the journey, right?
Right.
Yeah.
If I could, I want to pull a quick question from chat that I just kind of saw, if you don't mind.
Illegal moves
here was, hey, listen, you can throw a flag if you want. This is an important one. So he said, Zero Fear says, he talks about security. I'm just curious, how good is the security from swatting happening to your stream? And I really want to touch base on that the platform can only do so much against swatting. Like, you can only do so much to hide the IPs and hide the addresses. A lot of that really falls on the streamer themselves. And if you want a piece of advice that I should tell you, for as an aspiring streamer or someone who has been in this industry for a long time, call your local police department, the biggest branch local to your area, and ask to speak to their cyber crimes division. And then when you touch base with the cyber crimes division, you say, hello, I am blah, and I do blah. And then they're going to be like, what? But then when you explain what's going on and you actually speak to somebody, I've done this myself. I've actually spoken to my closest big city division and the division in my county. And I said, hello, I do this and I'm at risk of this. And they just put things in place to kind of help, look at, okay, all of a sudden this guy's not going to do this. And they will take added measures to protect you, your family, and your loved ones and all that good stuff.
You need to take added measures yourself. As a 100%. Broadcaster, you have got to enable your own safety. You've got to go the extra mile, because if you don't, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You can rely on the broadcasting platform of your choice for only so much. This is you putting yourself out there. You've got to take steps to make yourself safe. And contacting your local police enforcement is the smartest way to do it, because when threat of that comes through, they will already have the alert. They will check with you. They will call you ahead of time and then shut it down or be ready to act on it if they need to.
And a lot of that's just a matter of just, it can be challenging for a lot of us because we haven't had a reason to think about it before we moved in this direction, unless our parents are like real sticklers. But there's a lot of like really obvious stuff, and I don't want to belay this too much, but belabor. But like, you don't want to take a picture of yourself, a selfie, like outside your house with your, your address visible, whatever.
There's
right?
my address.
Yeah, like there are a lot of, and it seems common sense only after a certain point when you've started considering that. If you're getting a PO box, maybe don't get one at the post office down the street from you. Don't take pictures of your immediate neighborhood. People can find it really easily, like pinpoint some of that stuff, and it's just as simple as not making it as obvious as if we weren't in the limelight and spotlight, we wouldn't have to could be as concerned about it. But it's those are things that no platform can do for you. They can't stop you from making those kinds of moves, which are
exactly
really
so
problematic.
Yeah,
my PO box is in a different city.
That's exactly what I've done. Yeah, it's way over there. Also, I don't pick it up as often, but
over there,
it's a lot safer.
So we only have a few minutes left, so I definitely want to make sure we touch on a couple of important things. Namely, probably one of the most significant news to come out of Mixer this year, the acquisition of Ninja. Ninja has been the biggest streamer on Twitch by far. He is a worldwide phenomenon outside of being a streamer. And Mixer and Microsoft formed a partnership with Ninja, and he is now exclusively streaming on the platform. I'd like to talk a little bit about your thoughts on that, and if you've seen anything come out of that already. He started streaming just over a month ago on Mixer.
I have my hand
Go.
up.
Go.
Yes!
Do it. Go.
All right, so check it out. There was a lot that happened with this. One thing is I've seen a ton of good come out of this already. There is so many new faces on the platform actively talking that you can tell are on a PC, that are not just on your Xbox. And that is such a big deal. But also think about to the next level. Do you guys know what Ninja started with, not in streaming, but as an industry as a whole? Do you guys know what game he played?
Halo?
And
that's
who
right.
owns Halo?
Microsoft.
Oh.
See the connection there? So now you have a new Halo game on the horizon. It's coming. And now you've got somebody that is his bread and butter. If you remember, Ninja tweeted a long time ago talking about, I want to go back to what I was doing before. I want to go back to what I love. And now he is on the platform that is going to basically propel him into Halo, let him have fun, let him love it, and they're gonna empower him, and they're gonna give him that fun back. Because we all see that, where you have your Fortnite creators, they play Fortnite and they're pulling their upper end, their tens and 20,000s of views. But the second they play something not Fortnite, they're at 5,000, 3,000, which obviously, I mean, those are still great numbers. Like, don't
Of course,
don't mind you.
But in the context, contextually,
that's a huge drop. And I'm sorry, I get sick of building Taj Mahals all day. I don't want to do that all day. I think it's great that Ninja is able to come home. I don't want to say come home, but it gives Ninja the ability to be somewhere where he might be able to play something that can allow him to kind of stretch his wings and relax and, breathe. And I think he does a lot of good. You should see how often he hosts other partners. If you remember, I was talking about the guy who brews beer. His name is actually Fourth Room Brewing. He's a great guy. And he was playing Minecraft the same night Ninja was playing Minecraft. And Ninja hosted him after his stream. And you want to talk about somebody on Twitter being so incredibly grateful and happy to see that, this big titan in this industry hosted him. And you're
that warms my heart.
So many people. Ninja has hosted countless other partners and non-partners, might I add. And that dude, it makes me happy. Literally sitting right here with me. I ain't even gonna lie. I got the dude's book sitting right here on my desk. And I do actually
man.
That's awesome.
Maybe his streams are going to be good now. I can't wait.
Thank you.
Damn.
Oh my God. Did it work? Did you get good?
We're gonna add that to our drama compilation.
It says it on the book.
I haven't read it yet. I haven't read it yet.
I had to. I'm sorry. Definitely agree with everything you just said. Here's the most important thing for me. I think the community at large has benefited directly, obviously, in many ways. It's exciting to see it happen, and I don't think it's going to be the last thing you see. But personally speaking, as a partner, I want to see more of that. I want to see more people getting eyes on what's happening on Mixer, because there's so many folks who had no idea that there was even another option beyond YouTube and Twitch.
Yep.
They're still learning about Facebook gaming, and they're still learning about Mixer. And it's neat to see that these are options that broadcasters are being introduced to on multiple levels. A big name shows up, and then suddenly a lot more eyes are on the platform. Maybe something shows up on their Xbox. They didn't see it before. They switch over a tab and, oh, it's this new streaming service. There are so many ways that discoverability has been enhanced, specifically in this regard, by someone like Ninja arriving on the platform. And yes, Backdraft's right. There's a lot of great opportunities for different gaming there, specifically for him, and then everybody who is interested there. The ripple effect here is that personally, I have noticed my own broadcast numbers have been climbing every single day. It's exciting. I'm typically used to certain numbers, and then ever since Ninja arrived on the platform, viewership in the Destiny directory, which I've pretty much been living in, has been going up and up and up. And I'm thrilled about it, and I'm excited about it because more people are seeing that it is an option, and a very viable option, for a multitude of reasons. So to answer your question more directly, I think it's wholly positive, and it's exciting to see what happens next.
This is one of those things where, exposure has gotten such a bad rap because we talk about it in a particular context where there are cases where exposure as opposed to pay is really bad. But exposure is great. Increasing your exposure is fantastic. And this has done a great job of exactly that. That's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I want to build on one little thing here. And I know it might sound like we're talking highly of Mixer, and we're saying, yeah, Mixer's great. Mixer's awesome. Da, da, da. We're not trying to sell you on our platform. I'm being straight with you. We aren't and you can ask majority of Mixer partners this, we're not trying to beat Twitch because competition breeds innovation, and it allows each platform to do great things. Just like how the majority of some of the basis of what Mixer has, Twitch laid that foundation, but your low latency that you guys are now seeing on Twitch, you're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about that for quite a while.
Yeah, and each
there are several things that we were like, "Oh, thank you, competition, thank you, Mixer, for pushing that." Right? Where it's like, "Hey, we've got this thing over here," and Twitch is like sweating, feeling mopping. We gotta do something about this. That's
right.
Really good.
Then you benefit, and then the community benefits, and then it's only good from then on out because you're seeing cool things happening. And it's going to enable you to do fun stuff wherever you choose to broadcast.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think the Ninja acquisition has really put Mixer on the radar at this point. Partners are definitely taking a look at Mixer and eyeing it and seeing how it does. And plenty of people that are just looking to start or that have been streaming on Twitch for a while. I've seen so many partners and affiliates move over to Mixer already from the shakeup because they realize oh snap, Microsoft actually is taking this seriously. They're putting big money behind this. And, I want to grow with Mixer. I want to grow alongside Mixer. And, with the whole Ninja moving over, you have to think about it. It's not just his viewers that have moved over. It's people that have been, that are just in the industry, that are in the circle, right? That hear about the news and are like, oh, what's Mixer? And they go check it out. And, Backdraft and Rocketbear, I don't think you guys play much Fortnite, and you guys are still seeing the effect of Ninja moving over.
Yeah, last time I played Fortnite, I think I was playing with Backdraft, which was years ago. And you're right. There's people who are benefiting across the board. Side note, how you were saying that, there are people who are switching over. Same day, Ninja, Tommy Wiseau made an account. I'm just saying.
Oh, really?
I was thrilled about that. I saw that. I was like, hi, Mark.
But to also throw this out there real fast, just because you see a platform having success, do not jump your ship.
Yeah.
Do not sink your vessel because you see that one over there, that's the party boat. That don't do that. Be smart in your decisions. Educate yourself, see what you want to do, talk to your community, or just outright delete your account and just jump your ship. I mean, that's just do it.
Educate yourself ahead of time. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the grass is always greener scenario.
Isn't it?
True. I mean, you
can
take a look. You can see around you where certain people get, I guess, a little bit more excited about it than others, and that's fine. But
some people are excitable. They're the chirpy dogs. That's often me too. I'm like,
yep.
hold it down.
You've got to educate yourself, though. You've got to read. You've got to talk to people. You've got to make sure that it's right for you, because you could be shooting yourself in the foot and then starting over from scratch. And then maybe it's not what you hoped it would be. Maybe it's something different. It's always wise to educate yourself beforehand, no matter what it is you're doing, by the way. Just literally anything.
This is just sage advice, no matter what. He could have said this 500 years ago and it's still like super applicable.
Bingo.
Wait, you got bingo? I didn't know we were keeping track.
I'm just did right now.
No.
Unfortunately, we do have to end the show here, guys. We are definitely going to be following up with you guys on Mixer in the future, and we're keeping our eye on it. So I hope, everyone that's getting into streaming is, just considering other platforms and taking a look at what other platforms have to offer, because maybe it's a better fit for you. Rocketbear, Backdraft, thank you guys so much for joining us on the show today. Let's do some shout outs. Rocketbear, where can we find you and what are you up to?
Well, thank you so much. Well, you can find me a few places. The most important ones are on my Twitter. That's at Rocketbear Live. We post fun stuff, have memes and whatever. And then, of course, mixer.com/Rocketbear live Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturdays, usually starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I play a lot of Destiny too. We're getting ready for Shadowkeep, and I'm thrilled about that. I started my career playing Destiny, so I kind of have always gravitated around there, but we're going to be diving into some Borderlands 3 real soon. Just got done with Gears 5, which is amazing, by the way. Please, everyone, go play that right now. And that's kind of me in a nutshell. You can always find us in the Discord. It's discord.gg/Rocketbear. And we always are open and welcome fun. Want people to join in and have a good time.
Awesome. Backdraft, what about you?
Well, you guys can find me at mixer.com/Rocketbear. Or you can also go to mixer.com/Backdraft. That's where I'm at. I'm actually just getting back to streaming after taking some months off because I had a coming to myself and realized that I wanted to kind of, make some changes for the betterment of myself. But you got to do what's right.
What's the old famous Hunter hiatus.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about that, do you?
But I came back.
Welcome back to both of them.
But yes, for sure. That is where you guys can find me. I tried to stream every night around 8 o'clock p.m. I don't think that conflicts with any of you guys' schedule. I know Rocket's been in bear for like 2 hours by then. So I think that's pretty good.
He was waiting. He was waiting.
Got him, Grandpa.
Oof.
Hunter, what are you up to, Hunter? What are you doing?
That's a good question. So while it's been downloading this secret game that I hope to be playing later on tonight. While we've been chatting, that will be starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, right here on twitch.tv, / The Hunter Wild. You can find me on Twitter at The Hunter Wild TV, and right here on Streamer Square, doing this very show every Monday alongside my very good co-host. See how limited I kept that one?
I was bracing myself. I was like,
my very good co-host and co-owner of Streamer Square, Loco. What about you, Loco? What you got going on?
I am still playing Borderlands.
Did you just dab?
Who dabbed?
Hunter, did you just, you bowed. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Loco. I thought Hunter bowed. All right, dabbed. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was going to say, if Hunter dabbed, I don't know if I could handle that. I am playing some Borderlands 2, and we'll be doing Borderlands 3 on Friday. I really want to check out Greedfall. I'm very intrigued. I really want to check it out. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Did Greens get you hooked on that? He sends me all kinds of stuff about Greedfall all the time.
I saw a trailer.
It looks cool.
It looks really cool.
And I know people are going to be starting to play it soon, so I'm going to keep my eye on it.
Yeah.
My voice isn't always like this. I lost my voice, and I don't know if it's ever going to come back. This might actually
We're
just be
still
my new
looking
voice.
for it.
It's been
We're
gone.
still searching.
I'm pretty sure she left it at Guardian Con.
We've got the Coast Guard out there. Like, everybody's just...
But yeah, if you guys enjoy this content, follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/StreamerSquare. We're StreamerSquare everywhere, YouTube, Discord, our website, streamersquare.com. If you guys are looking for some more educational content, we do shows every single week. We have 4 shows on this channel that we do. So, if you like this stuff, follow us here, and check out our YouTube videos from past shows. And we'll be back next week, same time, same place, doing the stream scene. Do we know what our topic is, Hunter?
Yes,
Yes,
we do.
we
I mean,
do.
like, we have a month of. I don't know. I don't remember what it is though.
We do have a show planned next week, and there is a topic.
Trust us.
And it's going to be
really
a really great discussion. Like,
it's gonna be fantastic.
Super educational. So
It'll blow
definitely
your
tune in
mind.
for that. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Oh, and we are on Anchor. So if you guys like podcast form, search the stream scene on whatever podcast platform you use.
There was no shortage of your ability to access our discussions.
Yes,
All of
the
this
content.
available all over the place.
That's going to do it for us. Have a great rest of your Monday, guys. This has been the stream scene.
We out.
Bye.
Good night.